I just talked to Phil. He goes, so Felicity just wants to go to Target, just like, look around after work. So we'll be home later than normal. I'm like, okay.
I know what you're doing. Tomorrow's my birthday.
I'm like, my dad did this my entire life. I know what you're doing. You're not tricking me.
Yeah. Usually the day of, though, not the day before.
Yeah, that's true. The morning of. He's like, I'm going to go get donuts. I'll be back.
Oh, it's your mom's birthday.
Oh, goodness. All righty. Well, welcome to Love on the Pod, a podcast about all the cheesy romantic TV movies we adore, and now Schitt's Creek as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm Jessica.
And I'm Sherry.
And today we are going to lump together 2 episodes. So we're going to see how this goes. If we can
It's supposed to be a quick one.
In 20 minutes. Oh, yeah, we've already used up 6 minutes. So we'll see. We're going to do episodes 2 and 3 entitled The Drip. And don't worry, it's his sister.
You should worry.
Which last episode we talked about how the title didn't make any sense. Both of these titles make perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
So the second episode was directed by Jerry Chicariti again, and then the third episode was directed by Paul Fox. The second one was written by Chris Posbon, and the third one was written by Michael Short. So we have different writer and different director entering the fold in episode 3. So our first segment is entitled A Brief Emotional Prelude. And as a reminder, these segments are a tribute to the character of Moira Rose because she was so dramatic at every turn.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to do reactions to the cold open. What did you think of the cold open for episode 2?
I just have to say I love this show. And as I was typing up my notes, I realized that I was lumping them both together because I watched them back to back. So I need to start watching them, taking my notes, and then watching the next one so that I don't do that. If I overlap a little bit,
I had to keep going, like rewatching them because I'm like, wait a second. Okay, do I have something from this one? I have to go back. I probably watched each episode 3 times. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just...
well, this one, we're diving deeper into just how far the Rose family has fallen. Mm-hmm. Not only living in a place far removed from their lush former home that they're accustomed to, but now the roof has leaked all over Johnny's nightshirt during the night, and he comes out and he's soaking wet in this brown, I don't even want to know what, disgusting
brown sludge is what he calls it.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. So you really, at first I was like, boo-hoo, they've lost their fortune. But now it's like, okay, this is bad. This is really bad. This poor family. What about you?
Yeah, I think absolutely disgusting, but the perfect way to open the second episode to really convey to you how gross this motel is and really, what the conditions are that they're living in and how much they're going to have to adapt if they indeed need to stay in this town and live in this motel indefinitely. So, that was wild.
There's something very visceral about him walking out with this brown sludge. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of the moment where it's like, okay, they're not on vacation. They are in the trenches. And he's wearing a nightshirt, a striped nightshirt, reminiscent of, Ebenezer Scrooge. And of course, David has to say, my best to Bob Cratchit. Just
you have a whole Scrooge thing going on here. Alexis is like, oh, that's what I was thinking of. Just
poor dad is just covered head to toe in this grossness, and all they can do is make jokes.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So let's move over to initial impressions with feeling. I'll give you our 1-sentence episode summary. So for episode 2, Johnny tries to get permission from Roland to sell the town while David and Alexis spend a night out with the locals. And this is just, we see so many new characters in this episode. And it's so good. And these characters will stick around. The ones that are being introduced, we're going to see them long term. And so I love that. Let's talk about what our standout moments were from this episode. What was yours?
Well, Alexis and David attending the tailgate party was hilarious for me because it's a vast departure from the lavish parties that they likely attended in the past. They have no idea that they're being rude to people, saying really offensive things to people. They have no idea. And
Yeah.
it's just so funny to see how they're trying to fit in with these people and it's not working at all.
Yeah. There's two standout moments for me in this episode. One is the runner with Alexis calling the tailgate party different names. So she calls it a truck party at one point, and then she calls it a gate party, and she's asking David if like the vibe is leather pants. And he has no idea. He's the wrong person to be asking. They don't know what a tailgate party is.
No.
So that was super funny. And then here is where we get the first entrance of her saying, I love that journey for me. And that is going to be a runner throughout the show. We're going to see her say that quite often, that she loves that journey for herself and for other people.
Oh, okay. So that's where that initially came from?
Yes.
Not from the Kardashians? Okay.
No, I love that journey for you. I love that journey for me. I love that journey for someone else. So, yes, that's where we're gonna, or that's the first entrance of that phrase here on the show. And yeah, so did you have a question for me about this one? Because I don't. I have one for the next
Not
episode.
necessarily for this episode, but if you were the Roses and you were allowed to keep one luxury item to take with you to this hellscape that becomes your new home, what would it be?
A luxury item. So I'm assuming that I have clothes already.
You have your clothes, you have your wigs, you have your cell phone.
Right, my wigs are
You have
very
your
important.
fabulous shoes.
A luxury. Well, I think I would probably like hair products. I would probably take like shampoo, conditioner, blow dryer, all of those like different styling products, all of that stuff. I would probably bring all of that with me and hope that the feds didn't want my expensive hair dryer. That's probably what I would bring. What about you?
I'm going to kind of piggyback off of what we talked about last episode, and I would take not just my linens, but my own bed. That I know it's not infested with bed bugs, although what's in the carpet, what's in the draperies, who knows? But I bring my own bed, my own linens, my own pillow, all that.
Yeah. Yep. Totally agree. Yeah, those beds are nasty. They're not nice. Okay. So the next section is Moira Core, which we pick one each week. Each of us pick one for each episode, I guess. So we choose from line delivery, wigs, facial acting, emotional beats, or Catherine O'Hara brilliance. And for this episode, I chose line delivery from Moira. And the line is, I shall bathe, and if I bang my head and slip beneath the surface, so be it, Mr. Rose.
I love that she keeps referring to ways she's going to meet her demise in the bathtub. I don't know if that continues on, but
I don't know. Yeah. It's so funny. She's so dramatic. She's like, I cannot handle this. You deal with it. I'm not doing it. I'm going to go into the disgusting bathtub and hope that I never come out.
Can you imagine what that bathtub is like?
Because she's not scrubbing it. I can promise you that. And I doubt Stevie's doing a good job. So,
yeah.
What about you?
I chose the wigs this time. She wears a very Anna Wintour style bob, very harsh, very straight lines to dinner at the mayor's house. It's almost like a helmet on her head. Maybe it's signaling that she hasn't lost her status. Even though she's lost her zip code. So, yeah, I can't. I've seen previews because, as we mentioned last time, you've seen all of the series a couple of times. I'm recording as I watch. I haven't seen them before, but I have seen little video clips online, and some of the wigs are just cracking me up. So
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what she has in store. But little side note, Catherine O'Hara reportedly loved the wigs because they changed how she moved her neck. With the blunt bob, she holds herself with a rigid, high fashion stiffness that makes her interactions with Roland and Jocelyn even more hilariously awkward. So, depending on how the wig felt on her head, she would move her head and her neck a different way. I found that interesting.
That's so funny. I didn't know that. Okay, so next segment is A Whisper of Humanity. So, was this episode more heart or more humor?
I would say more humor than heart this time. There weren't really vulnerable moments in this. There was Johnny losing his mind over the leak in the roof, but David and Alexis trying to fit in the town, and they're just blissfully unaware of what a tailgate truck party is.
Yes.
And meanwhile, Moira and Johnny are kind of holding up a united front, putting up with Roland's antics in order to get him to sign over the town so that they can sell it. So it works because you see the family slowly coming together for a common cause, but I think the emphasis was more on the humor this time.
Yep, I agree. I think it was definitely more humor-based episode. However, you do start to see the inkling of the fact that Stevie and David are going to be friends. So he tells her that he thinks she's funny. She says thank you, and then she invites him to this party, and that's kind of an olive branch that she's extending to him, although he doesn't really understand and says no. But you can kind of start to see that, okay, maybe these two are going to be friends in the future. But the funniest part, I mean, there's so much, but when we meet Jocelyn Schitt, who is Roland's wife, and she's talking about how she could be doing cartwheels in a thong, and she has. and he wouldn't be paying attention to her because he's watching the soap opera that Moira used to be on. I forget what it's called. But it's just, she's so, like, if anybody's the straight man in the show, it's her. But then she has her moments where she's just so unintentionally funny because she's just like, this is normal. This is my life. Like, our cheese ball is an aphrodisiac. That's what everybody thinks, right?
Man.
But she's hilarious and I love her. And we start to see in episode 3 that she will still stand up for herself, but she's also very funny. So,
yeah. Can you imagine, though, going from a life of just luxury and then being offered cheese puffs as an appetizer?
And then your host is like sticking his hand in the food, trying to pull.
No,
like,
I got it.
And then eating it with his hands. And that part made me heave. Like, it was so gross. Yeah. And I was also thinking, wow, they live in a motel. They literally have to go to the cafe for every meal. They can't cook not that they probably can cook. So I guess it's a good thing. But
where are they getting their money? Did they give them some sort of something?
They must have given them something. I guess they said there's a small amount set aside for you. I think they said that in the first episode.
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah.
But I'm surprised they didn't go to prison, honestly, for tax evasion.
Yeah.
But, I guess this makes for a better story. So
true.
All right. Well, let's move on to episode 3. Don't worry, it's his sister. And what was your reaction to the cold open for this one?
You go first on this one because I think I've got my notes mixed up with the last.
Okay. So this cold open is when Johnny is getting shown the town sign by Ray, the only real estate agent in town.
Yes.
Ray has an Indian accent, so he's clearly immigrated to America from India and has chosen Schitt's Creek as the place where he wants to live his life. And it's so hilarious. He's the only real estate agent, and he has no hope that they are going to actually sell this town, but he's going to help them anyways. And they are looking at this sign for the town that is very inappropriate, but nobody in the town has any idea that it's offensive. So it really shows like how sheltered these people are. and kind of oblivious to the rest of the world, because nobody has any clue that it might be inappropriate.
Yeah. And Johnny only now learns that it took 20 years for them to sell the town initially to him. And he's realizing this isn't going to be a slam dunk like he thought it would. He'd just, put it on the market and he'd be able to sell it.
Yeah.
Then they have the sign issue, which Roland sees no problem with. People come from miles around just to see our sign. Yeah, there's a reason for that.
Of course they do.
You got this guy leaning over this girl.
Oh, yeah.
Turns out to be his sister. Yeah,
which
people
makes
are gonna come from miles around.
Yeah, which somehow makes it worse. So,
yeah.
So, one sentence summary of this episode is Johnny perceives the town's welcome sign to be obscene, but the townspeople don't agree. While Moira falls into a dark depression after Googling herself, David seeks employment, and Alexis fawns over Mutt. So, we've got an A story and we've got 3 different B stories happening all in like 27 minutes, which is wild. But it doesn't feel crowded or too fast or anything.
It all just fits.
It all just works together. So, any standout moments from this particular episode?
For me, and I think you're going to see a theme here, it's usually something to do with David. He's continuing to use his credit card, which at this point is still working. And Johnny asks him, how are you going to pay for that? And he has no clue. It just gets paid.
Yeah.
And so Johnny encourages him to get a job, and he's not trained to do anything except for have people do things for him. So he's going to try to be a box boy, and he thinks that a box boy can make probably about $45 an hour. This was back, when was this made?
2015.
Yeah. So we're talking 11 years ago. A box boy, bag boy, maybe made $45 an hour. No, he probably made $9 an hour. And then they're doing a mock interview to try to get him prepared. And the question is, why do you want this job? I don't.
I don't want this.
I mean, I felt that before, and I don't. I just need this job.
I need the job. I don't want it.
Yeah.
You know what I forgot to say about the last episode real quickly is that they did a really good job during the dinner scene of conveying, because for most of the show, they're conveying how much the Roses hate this town and hate the way that these people live. But when David starts to talk about his art installation with the woman who came in a clay mask of a fawn and then breastfed members of the audience, that was like, oh, okay, but you're insane too. It's not just, it's in different ways, but these people think you guys are nuts because this is how you live your life, right? So it's both sides of the coin. It's not just like, ew, these people are gross. It's everybody, they both think that one another is living a wildly insane life that is not real, right? It's not rooted in reality. So
yeah, you're small town hit crazy. We're affluent, rich crazy, but we're all
crazy. We're all crazy. Yeah. Yep. I think my favorite scene from this episode 3 is the entire scene between Moira and Jocelyn. Moira is hopped up on antidepressants. She took way too many because she was hungry, she says. And she goes to Jocelyn's classroom to teach them about acting, and they're doing a Say No to Drugs skit. And she's taking it way too seriously. And she's just yelling
changing
at them.
the dialogue.
Changing the dialogue. Asking the kids, which one of you wrote the script? It's garbage. And Jocelyn's like, I wrote it. And she's like, write what you know. And she says something really offensive to her about being married to a simpleton. And that's when Jocelyn's like, that's not what I know. It's like, she says, like, I don't know what you're talking about. That's not my life.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is hilarious. She scares the crap out of the kids. And it's safe to say that Jocelyn will not be inviting Moira back into the classroom anytime soon. One thing that Moira tells us in episode 3 is that the shag carpet and LA are both irrelevant, but she is not. What's one thing that you think is irrelevant?
In this episode or
No, in today's
in
life.
life?
Mm-hmm.
What's irrelevant? A lot of times social media, because oftentimes either, and I think we've talked about this before, it either puts a lot of pressure on you to be someone that you're not, or it's wrong and people keep reposting and reposting and reposting, and all of a sudden all this stuff is being spewed and it's not even accurate. So I don't know if that counts as irrelevant or just unnecessary.
In other words, social media should never be where you go to get your news. Okay? Find reputable
Exactly.
sources that are also fairly minded, that don't have a particular political affiliation, and that's where you should get your news, right?
Absolutely.
Because social media is fake. Everything is fake on social media. And especially with AI now, they say they're filtering it out, but there's so much trash and just literally made up garbage that they're like, oh, Taylor Swift called Kayla Nicole and told her that she's an ugly skank. And I'm like, what?
Here's the video proof.
Yeah. I'm like, and it's like a raccoon body with Taylor Swift's head on it.
Like, yeah, it's scary.
What
because so many people are buying into it.
Yeah.
And treating it as fact.
Yep. I think magazines, sadly, are irrelevant.
Oh, yeah.
I used to love a good magazine, but they are dying and or dead. I think Anna Wintour got out at a good time, because I think it's going to be nothing but downhill from here. People just don't buy magazines anymore, especially when they're like $17 for a magazine.
I know.
No.
It's crazy. Well, maybe The Devil Wears Prada, the second movie, will bring magazines back.
Ooh, maybe. Because Felicity asked for the Time magazine yearbook. She wanted it because it had Taylor Swift on the cover, but it was $16. I was like, I'm sorry. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. For something you're going to take home and cut up, no thank you.
True. You could probably find those pictures on the internet and print them yourself.
Yeah, I used to subscribe to InStyle and Vanity Fair, and I would pick up a Cosmo. Yeah, but they're just not relevant anymore, or they've moved all online. So,
yeah,
unfortunately, although I do love a shag carpet, it's fun to walk through. So,
if it's clean,
true. Okay, next segment is Moira Core, and the one that I picked this week is Catherine O'Hara Brilliance. I think her ability to play intoxicated is phenomenal. It was not too over the top. It was just enough, but it didn't feel unreal. She would just randomly say the F word, and you're like, oh, okay. And then she would start crying, and then she would be really angry and then happy. And so she did just a wonderful job playing somebody who had taken way too many pills.
Yeah, I chose Catherine O'Hara Brilliance as well this time, because she plays Moira as a woman always performing, and she emotes with her whole body. It's this whole thing, and I can't think of anybody else like that. She was just so gifted, and I wonder how much of we already know that the accent was something that she brought to the character, but I wonder how much of the dialogue that she ad-libs and adds little different, throwing in the F-bomber or just different lines, how much of that she actually had a part in adding herself.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure there were things that she added in. I imagine that this was a safe set to ad-lib. So, and you can even see some of the scenes where like they cut away really fast, or they're like going like this. You can tell that they're about to break because whatever's going on in the foreground is so funny.
Because they're among friends, right? They all have known each other for decades. Yeah. So that probably lends itself to having a little bit more freedom to do what you want to do.
For sure. All right. Next segment is A Whisper of Humanity. Was this episode more heart or more humor for you?
This time I said it's heart delivered with humor because you've got David trying to figure out just how a job works. And Johnny keeps calling him at the store just to see how he's doing. And then they have to page him on the PA system over and over. He's like, "Oh, you hung up on me. Oh, we got disconnected." And by the third or fourth time, David realizes, I need to take off my apron and go. I've just been fired. So Johnny, obviously, he made his money somehow, so he knows what a job is. But David has no clue. He's been given everything, and so he's got to figure out how to make his way in the world.
Have we not revealed how they made their money yet?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Unless I missed that part.
I won't say it yet. I won't say it.
Okay.
Though. We'll wait.
All right.
It's a very nostalgic, fun way that they made their money.
I don't think you mentioned it. We know that it got taken away because of a business partner, but
yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So I think that this was a good balance of humor and heart because we see Moira going into a total meltdown because people are saying mean things about her on the internet. We see David not having any understanding of how money works or how a job works. And we see Alexis getting into a situation where she likes a guy and he's not showing any interest in her. And you can tell that that's not something that she is used to having happen in her life.
That's uncharted territory for her.
Yeah. So when she goes over to seemingly, get busy with him and he has another girl in his home, she's shocked. She's like, "Oh, I was in the neighborhood, but I gotta go. My mom's really sick. Like, I have to leave." So, and he lives on like a farm in the middle of nowhere. She was not in the neighborhood and she seemingly walked there. No. But anyways, so I think it was a good balance of both. But when Johnny is telling his kids that they need to watch their mom because apparently she's had a few of these breakdowns before. And Alexis says that sometimes it's kind of funny or fun to watch her implode. And Johnny goes, "Not when you're the one she's trying to back over with her car, it isn't." And he doesn't usually get the zingers, but it was just so funny.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, okay, so he has so much patience for all these people in his life who are live just in insane ways. And he seems the one who has, although he's not completely grounded, he's remained the most grounded out of the four of them. So.
And he's trying to see a way out for them, whereas everybody else is just kind of blissfully
flailing,
unaware.
Yeah, I think as the dad, as the patriarch, he feels the responsibility to get them out of the situation that they're in. But it's everybody's job because they're all adults. These children are not, 15 years old. They're in their late 20s, early 30s. They can assist with the situation.
Yep. For sure. I had one question for you real quick.
Yeah.
If David were the protagonist of a Hallmark movie, what is the one job in Schitt's Creek he would actually accidentally be good at?
That's hard because I know what job he ends up with.
Oh, okay.
But let me think. You know what? I think that he could assist Ray and be like an interior decorator or a stager, maybe. Ray's a real estate agent and David works for him as a stager for homes. So I think that's not what he ends up doing, but I think he could do that.
Okay. Yeah.
Because he's an expert in trend forecasting.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe something in cosmetics. Do they have cosmetics in Schitt's Creek? I don't know. Maybe he could be an Avon person. Go door to door.
Oh, yeah, true. I think there is. Oh, yes, there is an episode like that. Oh, I don't know what season it is, but there is. That's a good one. Okay. All right. Anything else you wanted to chat about before we wrap it up here?
I think that's it. Trying to keep this quick and...
I know.
There's so much to talk about.
I know. All right. Well, these episodes really reminded us how out of touch from reality the Rose family truly is and what an evolution we are about to witness. Next week, we're watching episodes 4 and 5. Until our next engagement.
Adieu.
Goodbye.
Bye.